Enrique Tarrio, a former leader of the Proud Boys, was given the harshest sentence to far for anyone prosecuted in connection with the attack on the U.S. Capitol on January 6, 2021, when a federal judge sentenced him to 22 years in jail on Tuesday. Despite the fact that Tarrio wasn't in Washington on the day of the attack, the prosecution's strongest recommendation to date for a person indicted in the Justice Department's extensive investigation into the Capitol assault was 33 years in prison for Tarrio. Prosecutors characterized Tarrio as a naturally charismatic leader and a savvy propagandist in their sentencing recommendation. They claimed that he exploited his influence over hundreds of followers to plan an attack on democracy, for which he was found guilty of seditious conspiracy and several other offenses. In his opening statement at the hearing on Tuesday, Assistant U.S. Attorney Connor Mulrow stated that this defendant and his co-conspirators targeted our entire system of government. This crime required thought and planning. For as long as this case is remembered, we need to make sure that the repercussions are crystal clear to anyone who could be dissatisfied with the outcomes in 2024, 2028, 2032, or any other future election. The prosecution claimed that Tarrio encouraged members of the far-right group to travel to Washington before January 6 in order to thwart the peaceful transfer of power, that he followed their movements and encouraged them as they attacked the Capitol, and that he continued to applaud their actions in the days following the uprising. They also cited Tarrio's possession of a 9-page tactical plan to storm government buildings in Washington on January 6 that was discovered after the riot, as well as the frequent use of violent language in his messages to other group members about what they would do if Congress went ahead and recognized President Joe Biden's victory. Tarrio's legal team argued that the government exaggerated his objectives for January 6 and that his genuine motivation for bringing the group to Washington, D.C., was to engage in conflict with members of the far-left Antifa movement. They claimed he was incapable of controlling followers who were violent during the disturbance since he never guided any of their actions during the actual violence. "My customer is not a terrorist." Sabino Jauregui, Tarrio's lawyer, declared that his client is a misguided patriot. As foolish as he was trying to protect this country. Tarrio also appeared at the court, passionately apologizing for his acts and praising law enforcement officials who, in his opinion, had been unfairly handled and demonized following the incident on January 6, which he called a national embarrassment. "For the rest of my life, I'll have to deal with that guilt and disappointment," Tarrio added. It was very incorrect of us to have referenced 1776 and the U.S. Constitution. What a perversion that was. The events of January 6 should never be remembered or honored.